Sitting in a little room with a piano in the back of a music shop is where I spent my every Thursday night. My mom thought it would be a good idea for my sister and I to be musically involved, so I chose the piano and my sister chose the awful violin that made your ears want to burst every time she would practice. As a 5-year-old, I believed piano was the worst object God had ever created, and I never really appreciated those piano lessons until now, where I have a little knick-knack corner in my dorm that holds my very own electric piano. Piano lessons on Thursday nights used to be the death of me. My mom would drag me in the car and I would cry, begging her not to take me, because I was tired of playing octaves over and over again. If you have ever played the piano before, you know exactly how that feels. As I got older, I thought I would never get over the hump of playing Mary Had a Little Lamb or Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. But with enough practice, I finally got over that hill of typical children lullabies, and the first song I actually remember wanting to show everyone I knew how to play was Für Elise by Beethoven. This song was the first song I ever felt proud of and made me want to continue to pursue playing the piano. Of course, I had learned fun Christmas songs and jingles, but learning Für Elise made me feel sophisticated. I felt like a little prodigy because everyone knew that song was difficult to play, so I'd hop on the piano anywhere I could to show people that me, Samantha Nelson, could play something worth your while. It's like I had stepped out of the little leagues of piano and entered the major leagues of playing jazz and classical music. No more Mary Had a Little Lamb for me. Being able to play a difficult song on the piano is very impressive to those who are not musical, because it's seen as challenging or too advanced for them. But in my eyes, Für Elise changed the way I felt about music, because I began to feel comfortable when sitting right in front of the keys. The piano became my safe place, and from there, I never looked back. I started asking my piano teacher for more difficult pieces, and became comfortable performing in large crowds. With playing more difficult pieces, I decided to learn more contemporary music, like pop and top hits, sort of like Taylor Swift or Sarah Bareilles. I became bored with classical music because piano had become a drag to me. Every time I'd want to go to practice, I'd have to go to play Bach or Beethoven, and I'd literally want to rip my hair out. Classical music is beautiful, but I wanted to start playing things that excited me again. Playing the piano had become a hellhole rather than my safe haven, and that needed to change immediately. That's when I was introduced to learning songs that I would be able to sing to, which was also really appealing to me. Singing was new, and it made playing the piano very entertaining for me and the audience. When high school rolled around, I focused on singing because I joined the choir and found my other passion, singing. I decided to join the talent show, which to many people may have been terrifying or just flat out dumb. But to me, singing and playing the piano was my own little secret, so playing it for my peers was intimidating and really tested my confidence. I decided to play Someone Like You by Adele and finally sing in front of my entire school because it seemed like a challenge and I really wanted to just overcome any fear that I had. As I walked onto the stage, panic instantly hit me. Sitting down at the piano, my legs shook uncontrollably, and right when I put my fingers on the keys, bam! Fear and anxiety instantly vanished, and I was back in the small piano room in the back of that music shop. As I finished playing, the audience clapped and my friends hollered. Playing and singing the piano to the public is seen as very impressive because not many people have the coordination to sing and also play chords as well. For me, performing was just very intimidating, and it really helped me gain confidence. It also made me realize that people in the crowd don't have as much confidence to get on that stage and be like you. It's just your battle with yourself, because usually people are just too scared because they care what other people think of them and they want to be seen as cool. But in reality, why would you want to be friends with those who don't actually like you for who you are? Although I didn't win the talent show, I left with something better, confidence and a better outlook in life. Without the piano, I would not have a way to express my emotions to myself and also the world. Music is so powerful because it really shows the audience what the performer is feeling and truly thinking. As William states, I write myself out of my nightmares and into my dream. I write to remember, I write to forget. I write to the music that opens my heart. When playing the piano, I feel like Williams. I see a different side of who I am and who I show to the world. I see my true self. Writing my own music, too, has made me realize the situations I am going through are not that difficult. It is a coping mechanism that helps me get over trivial problems like breakups. Which brings me to the first song I actually wrote myself, Mixed Emotions. The title describes the song perfectly. I was a sophomore in high school who didn't know how to feel about a boy, and I turned to my safe haven to help me get over him. As I sat down on the piano for the first time with a blank sheet of music, I had so many thoughts running out of my head onto this piece of paper. It was first really choppy, but it ended up being almost as catchy as All Star by Smash Mouth. Not trying to credit myself, but I'm just saying it's pretty catchy. Now, instead of learning, singing, and playing songs that someone else has written, I had all the power to express myself any way I wanted to. When writing my own music, I do base my songs off songwriters like Sara Bareilles and Adele. As Dirk states, when something new happens that requires a response, someone creates that first response, and eventually everyone who encounters that situation is basing his or her response on the previous one, resulting in the creation of a new genre. Although these artists I base my music off are categorized in the genre of songwriters, I value their music much more than any other songwriter because every song is original and tells a story of how they're feeling. These songwriters can make a story only in 3 minutes. I feel like that's the power of music. Everyone turns to music when they are sad and want something to get them out of their funk, or when they're about to go to the gym and want motivation to run a mile. Where do they turn to? Music. As my journey of music has grown from learning my first classical piece, performing in a large audience, and writing my first original piece, I have grown as a person because I have found a way to release my emotions in a healthy way. Looking back to my second grade self, who was excited to show the world Für Elise, I realized that playing the piano, or any instrument in that matter, should be more accessible to younger people because it gives me a way to portray the musical side of me that I've never thought I had. When I imagine myself playing and singing the piano in front of my high school peers, I recognize that being able to display your talents adds character and confidence into your life. Finally, writing my own music has let me explore the way I can illustrate my sad feelings into something positive and musical. Too many people do not have anything to help them when they're feeling down, so I always suggest to turn to music. Look what it did for me. The piano will always be my shoulder to cry on, and I hope one day my own music will be someone else's shoulder to cry on